Hello, amazing followers of Australia Alidu. Welcome to this week's Immigration Hour. I'm sorry, due to minor technical issues, we are a little bit late today, but we are still here. Saurabh Smart from Global Vision Migration is here with us. And of course, he is our favorite immigration agent, right? So, without any further ado, let me just quickly welcome Saurabh and let's get on with the hour. Yeah, hi Saurabh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for the warm welcome. And yes, we are back again, like every Wednesday, providing new information about immigration, Australian immigration. So we will be discussing about the new 485 updates today, and also be discussing about the Western Australia state nomination as well. As I can see that a lot of people are currently interested in that particular state because they have actually published their requirements, their occupations as well. So people want to know what I've felt is that a lot of people have contacted us in the last few days, and people have confused whether they should relocate to WA, whether they should wait, or how they can actually be able to eligible to apply for Western Australian state nomination. So we're going to talk about touch base on that as well, and also as everyone knows, usually we start this session at 8 o'clock till 8:45. However, due to technical issues, it was delayed. So today we're going to be doing it till 9 o'clock. So if you have any questions or any inquiry in regards to any particular doubts or anything, feel free to post a question. It might be helpful, might not be helpful for yourself, but it could be helpful for your friends or family. So feel free to post your questions, and we will try our best to give you a generalized answer. And also, just want to let everyone know that this is actually for an education purpose only. And in regards to your own personal circumstances, make sure you do seek a professional registered migration agent or a legal practitioner.
That's awesome, Saurabh. Thanks for clarifying that. Also, to add on to what you were just saying earlier, it was guys. If any of you have received any visas recently, do let us know by posting it in the comments section so that it motivates other followers as well. So please do that. And like we always do it, like every week, it has become one of our modern new rituals. That is, we ask Saurabh about his visa grants for the week and, stuff like that. So it motivates all of us. So Saurabh, let's get on with that.
Okay. So we actually since last Wednesday, our team has received three partner visa grants, and one of them actually we just received literally like 20 minutes ago at this particular time. And then what we have seen is normally the processing time for subclass 820 partner visas is approximately 2 years, around 24 months, 12 months to 24 months. And most of our cases actually been finalized in less than 3 months, 2 months. So I'm quite surprised that the department is really quick. And then the good part is it all comes down to how you, because all the cases that we are doing right now, they are decision ready applications. That means that the case officer does not have to ask us for more information. So this is the another advantage of what people can consider as well. So whenever you are lodging your visa as well, doesn't matter whether it's a student visa, it's a 485 visa, or if any visa that you want to get granted quicker, like 491s, 190s, etc., make sure you do provide all the necessary paperwork and documentation as soon as possible, right when you do lodge the application. It actually helps speed up the process as well. The department case officers does not have to go through much documentation, etc. They would just have to tick the boxes, and then if they do ask you for more information, then you know that it's going to delay the process. And and then you don't want the delay in your processing, in your visa processing in particular. So that's why it's very important to make sure you always get the file decision ready, and so the case officers do not have to ask for much information, and then you can get the visa grant quicker. Another thing is we also had a sorry, I forgot what other visa grants we had.
That's okay. You
Yeah,
have
we
multiple.
also had an invitation for a social worker at a very low points, 75 points actually. So that is another, and that's from Victoria, where Victoria is currently closed and not accepting many applications. However, we actually managed to get that sorted. We received a 485 subsequent entrant grant as well from overseas. That took almost, I would say, 3 to 4 months max. So if you are into this kind of situation where you are planning to apply for your wife's or your husband's offshore subsequent entrant visa, you can certainly be able to apply based on the fact that they are currently granting them quicker as well. That is another advantage. And one of the cases that we got two partner visa grants today. So one of them actually received the permanent residency as well. So that case was actually quite important to me because the applicant actually in 2017 they launched their visa, and their previous visa was cancelled, and then they when they applied for their partner visa themselves through someone else, um, because I clearly told them that that you do not have any grounds, your partner visa would get refused. And they subsequently, 6 months later, they actually contacted me and they said like, yes, Saurabh, you were right. Our partner visa actually got refused. And then I fought for them at the AAT stage. And last year at the AAT, we were managed to win that case for them. And then the case went back to the department, and today the department actually granted them the permanent residency. So it was a very big achievement for us, because it took them 5 years, and
Yeah,
then they managed to get their permanent residency. So I was quite happy for them, because the person has known me for quite a long period of time, and it was a very satisfying win for us, as well as a good outcome for the client.
that's awesome, Saurabh. You are helping really many people here, and that's such good work.
Thanks for
Congratulations
that.
on that for you and your team. So, while we're on the subject of the subsequent entry for 485s, a few of our followers had this question that whether they can apply for that while they're on bridging for 485 to bring their
Yeah,
partner.
so there's a yeah, exactly. We have received a lot of inquiries in regards to people who applied for their 485s, and then they went overseas to apply for their visa for their partner. Um, and when they went overseas and they got married, and then now they came back and then they want to include the partner in their application. However, they can just do the change in circumstances, but they cannot add their partner onto the unfinalized visa application,
Right.
specifically for 485 visa. So they would actually have to wait until they get their 485 visa granted, and then only they can be able to apply for subsequent 485 visa for them. Some people, some people who are actually within the time frame of their student visa or completion date of their, they might be able to lodge a new 485 visa application as well, depending upon the circumstances, and where they can include an offshore partner. But it all comes down to case basis. However, on if you have already lodged your application, you are on a bridging visa, you certainly won't be able to add your partner if you have applied for 485 visa.
Right. Right. So, guys, like you've heard, Saurabh, that is the thing. So, Saurabh, let's just quickly get into this 485 update that people are eagerly waiting to know about. And
Hmm.
it caused a little bit confusion and a little bit excitement amongst all of us.
Hmm.
So, what is it all about? What is the new update? The
Okay, so
actual update, not
okay,
what
so
we are imagining. Yeah.
exactly. So there's a lot of people, saying that, oh, everyone is getting a new 485 visa. They don't have to worry about anything. So that's not the case, guys. Not everyone's eligible for such visa. So what's going to happen is, so say for example, there are three different things that you need to understand. In order for you to be eligible for a replacement 485 visa, so whatever the amount duration you had previously, you would be given the similar duration from 1st of July. You would be eligible to apply. So you would have to pay the full fees again. You also have to provide some supporting documentation as well. However, the the immigration account is going to be down on 1st of July. So it's going to be down from Thursday night until 1st in the morning. And then they're going to update all the new legislation and the requirements, as well as the application process for 485 replacement visas. So what I would suggest to you is, say for example, if you in order for you to know whether you are actually eligible for that or not, you must, either currently hold a valid temporary graduate visa or a 485 visa, or you previously have held that visa, which actually either expired on or after 1st of Feb 2020 and 15th of December, anything on or after that date. So that's very important. And you must have been outside Australia between 1st of Feb 2020 and 15th of December 2021. Even though if you have been outside for even a single day and you came back, you can still be eligible to apply for the temporary replacement 485 visa. So that is very
And, and,
important, and you would have
and
to
in
pay the
that
full fees as well.
and in that case, if suppose say a person has only gone for about a month,
Hmm.
to just clarify it amongst all our followers, whoever watching
Yeah.
in this video. So if they've gone only for a month, what happens? How much duration of replacement would they get?
So they will get so those people who already meet this particular requirement, they must have already got a 485 visa up till September 2022.
Right.
However, they will also be eligible to apply from 1st of July onwards for a replacement stream, and they will get the same amount of 485 that they actually previously were granted. So it's not like that now masters can get 3 years, they will get 3 years. No, they will get the same amount of 485 that they previously
Right.
held.
If they've held like 2 years of visa, so
Yeah,
they
if they had, yeah, exactly. If they studied masters, they would get 2 years. If they studied graduate, the trade courses, then they pretty much will be able to get up to 18 months.
right. Okay. So also Saurabh, what about the concessions that people are buzzing around about these days? If anybody is graduated in the graduates and they're applying for graduate stream visa, they don't have to nominate an occupation, something like that.
Yes, so that's a very good update. And however, this update is only until one more year. So
Right.
it's going to end on 1st of up till 30th of June 2023. Only for that particular 1 year. So what they have done is say for example, if someone, so they are okay for 485 visa, there are two different options. Either you apply under a graduate stream or you apply under post study work stream. So under
Right.
graduate stream, you certainly would have to nominate an occupation which is in the MLT-SSL list, medium to long term skill shortage list. And for that particular occupation, you would also need to provide a skill assessment. So with that skill assessment, which is also known as provisional skill assessment, which is the step one of the job ready program, you can actually be able to apply for graduate stream 485 visa. Previously, people were getting it for 18 months, but recently it was changed to 24 months, 2 years of TR. However, the department has actually removed the requirement of nominating an occupation and the requirement for the skill assessment. So that's gone for the next whole year. That means that now the people, even though if they have, some people say, for example, if someone studied like a diploma of leadership management and advanced diploma of leadership management, they might not be able to, they might not be eligible to apply for 485 visa because they're not able to nominate an occupation and they can't get a skill assessment. However, that's the requirement that they have removed. That means that no matter what diploma you have done, if you have studied eligible qualification, you can certainly be able to apply for 485 undergraduate stream.
Right. So one more question is that who is eligible to apply for the 485 post study work stream, and who is eligible to apply for the graduate stream?
Perfect. So that's actually a very good question. What I've seen is a lot of people when they're applying for their 485 visas themselves, they usually pick up the wrong stream and then they end up getting the visa refused and then they cannot win the case back at the AAT, and then they would have to either go back or apply for a new student visa from overseas, come back again, do the whole process again, study for 2 years, and then be eligible. So, for example, for graduate stream, is for actually people who study trade courses, such as anything below bachelor's, cert 3 diploma, advanced diploma. If you study those courses, you will actually be able to apply for graduate stream. Or there is another thing, say for example, if if you have studied even bachelor's or master's as well, but you came to Australia in a student visa, in 2011. So then as well, that you would actually have to apply under graduate work stream. So a lot of
Right.
people who came here to study high school, and if they got their student visa granted before, there is I think a date in February or November 2011, they certainly would have to be able to. They only can apply for graduate stream. They cannot apply for post study work stream, regardless of the fact whether they studied bachelor's or master's. So that's very important as well. And for students, for higher education, if you have studied bachelor's or master's qualification or PhD, etc., anything above bachelor's or bachelor's itself, you can be able to apply for post study work stream. So that's very important. A lot of people, when they're whoever studied post study work stream, they think that, oh, I'm a graduate, I've graduated now, so I should apply for graduate stream, and then they end up getting their 485 visa refused because of not applying in the correct stream. So that's very important. People, be very careful, and do not select the wrong stream. And if you do select the wrong stream, you end up getting it refused. We don't want any refusals. We want to stay away from them as much as possible. They are not good.
Certainly, certainly. We'll keep this in mind, Saurabh. Thank you so much for that. So let me just quickly jump into a few comments and then let's get back to the topic. Yeah.
Sure.
Firstly, Chaudhary Prithvi Prasad says, "Hi, Ashu and Saurabh." Hi.
Hi, Chaudhary.
Next, we have Shiva. He's saying, "Hi, I left Australia in 2021 December on the 10th and then came back in January 2022. Am I eligible for applying new 485 visa extension?"
So as I said, as I said previously, there are three different requirements that you must meet. Number one is either you currently hold a valid temporary graduate visa, or you have previously held a temporary graduate visa, either that expired on or after 1st of Feb 2020, and you have been outside Australia from Feb 2020 and 15 December 21. So if you think that you do meet those three requirements, then yes, certainly you could be eligible.
So there you go, Shiva. Hope this helped you. Thank you so much for commenting today. Next up, we have Sukshen. He's asking, any chance NSW will remove the 3 years work experience for IT students in new financial year? I have 95 points with state, but no experience in ICT security specialist and computer networking and systems engineer.
Look, in the current year, we haven't seen many updates from from New South Wales yet recently, because we don't know exactly what the new requirements going to be, etc. So I would suggest is we just have to wait and watch. 1st of July is just around the corner in a couple of days, and then we would certainly be able to know exactly what the new requirements going to be. And for you in this particular because you are actually in this kind of situation where you would need to know exactly the 3 years of work experience. But some people, there are some IT occupation like multimedia specialists, etc., do not require 3 years of work experience. And see if you are actually eligible to get a skill assessment in a different occupation. And a lot of people also had bachelors of electronics and communication, or mechanical, or different engineering, electrical. You can get a skill assessment in that based on your bachelor's qualification, and then also be able to get your can then apply in that particular field. So that is another important thing that you guys also can look for, rather than just relying on one particular occupation or one particular visa subclass. You should explore more options out there.
Hope that answered your question, Sukshen. All the very best. Thank you so much for commenting tonight. Next, we have Bhai Reddy. So he's saying, I have completed my degree this year. Please tell me some visa process. I'm interested to come to Australia. So this is from overseas.
Yeah, I think it's from overseas. Yeah. So if you are overseas,
Yeah.
and then if you have, this is an important message to a lot of people out there. If your friends, family, or someone who have recently completed their bachelor's or year 12, either in 2021 or 2022, yes, they can apply for a student visa. And student visas are currently being granted for people like these, because they have a very less gap, and then they are actually be able to meet the genuine temporary intern requirement, provided they also do meet the other requirements mentioned, requirements for the student visa, such as English language, and also in some situation they would also need to provide financial as well. So yes, if you have completed your degree this year, you certainly are actually eligible to apply for masters or any other courses to come to Australia and study further.
So hope to see you soon by Reddy in Australia. If you do need any help with regards to your visas or in picking up colleges, you can directly contact Saurabh and his team through the numbers mentioned below. And because they also have WhatsApp, you can ping them on WhatsApp and you can take it ahead from there. Yeah, thank you so much for commenting today. So next we have Chowdhury. So he's saying, "Hi Saurabh and Ashu, my TR is going to expire by 24th August 2022, and I'm planning to apply for TR extension as I study and work in NSW regional. I had skill assessment as agricultural consultant. At present, I have 80 points. What are my chances to 491, 190, 189? Can I apply to 491 while I'm on a bridging visa?"
Obviously, because he is a say for example, he is actually currently studied. If you have studied and worked in regional New South Wales, you lived in there during the 485 as well, that you are actually eligible for another 485 visa. That's important. Another 1 year extension. And then you got a skill assessment as agriculture consultant. So that's an MLTSSL list occupation. And it is 80 points is quite good points for that particular occupation. But I would also suggest, because you do have a skill assessment in that occupation, that means that you must have got relevant work experience. And if you are currently employed as well, Chaudhary, why don't you look for an employer nomination scheme such as subclass 186? It's a direct entry. You don't actually have to have higher points. There's no points required for that particular visa, and you can get your PR quickly as well. So that is subclass 186 direct entry, where you will need to have at least 3 years of work experience at a skill level. You would also need to provide that you have at least competent level English, which is 6 each in IELTS or 50 each in PT. And then you need a skill assessment. So if you do have all these three, if you do meet all these three requirements, then you certainly be able to apply for subclass 186 direct entry, which is actually a permanent residency, and it is a little quicker than 190 as well as 189 as well. And there are no points required because it is an employer sponsor option where the employer is going to sponsor you.
Hope that answered your question, Prithvi. Thank you so much for commenting today. If you do require some extended help with regards to your situation, do directly contact Saurav and his team, and they'll be able to help you out. Thank you so much. So next we have Rajesh. He's asking, what are the requirements for 491? Is it good to move to Adelaide or Perth?
So currently Perth has actually been very open, and then they have actually provided their occupational list as well, that these are the occupations that are actually eligible, and these are the requirements, and then they will give you an opportunity to get a job offer. So they're not asking for employment experience of 6 months to 12 months in their particular state. What they're saying is that if you have enough points, we will invite you. Only thing you need is just a job offer in order for you to get a successful nomination. That's Perth. Adelaide requires you to have work experience of at least 6 months, 12 months, or up to 24 months for some occupations such as software engineer. And most of the occupations are actually available in South Australia. However, Perth, there are not many occupations available. Software engineer, etc., are not available for people from interstate graduates, unless you are a graduate of Western Australia. That's a different scenario for you. I hope this answers your question. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Rajesh, thank you for commenting. So last question of the night from Sharath. Hi, Saurabh and Ashu. I have completed my graduate certificate of management and graduate diploma of management in January 2022. Am I eligible to apply for 485 visa?
So this is say for example, the only requirement for the 485 that they have removed is that you do not need to nominate an occupation and get a skill assessment. The rest, you still have to satisfy all the requirements of the visa in order for you to be eligible for 485. So that means that you can if you based on your qualification, certainly, you can only apply for TR within 6 months of your application, within 6 months of your student visa grant, or 6 months of your completion of your course. In Jan 2022, it looks like the ship has sailed. And then obviously the course must be eligible for that, for your TR as well. Based on the information you have provided, I don't think these courses are actually eligible courses for 485 visa. But certainly, this is just a general information. For any particular, information, you should seek a professional assistance in regards to your own scenario.
Hope that answered your question, Shivrat. If it is not what you expected for, you really need to seek professional advice, like Saurabh has just suggested. You can go onto their website and book a consultation and utilize Australia Lidu AUSALLUDU coupon code to get a 25% off the consultation. Or you can directly just contact them on the numbers below, and Saurabh will be able to help you out with that. Thank you so much. So looks like we can wrap up for the night, Saurabh.
Yes, we can.
So would you like to add anything else?
I think we covered pretty much most of the important topics, specifically 485 extension stream, where there's a lot of people were confused. They were not sure whether they are actually eligible for that particular visa subclass or not. And then we did touch base of Perth as well as South Australia state nomination, and also we talk about employer nomination scheme as well. So yes, we did cover a lot of topics in this quick and short webinar tonight. And hope to see everyone back again next week.
In the new financial year as well.
In the new financial year, exactly.
Yeah. So guys, don't miss our next week's session. It's going to be interesting and it's going to be intriguing as well, because there might be new updates with regards to immigration in general, and looks like our new Prime Minister is inclined towards us immigrants. So we'll be back with many more updates with regards to immigration, and do not miss next week's session at 8 p.m. hopefully sharp 8 p.m. next week, same time. See you all.
Perfect.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Saurabh.
Thank you everyone for joining. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Evening. Bye.
Evening.